All right, so here we are back in the shop. This is the two-stroke turbo channel. Try to work on all types of cars. Well, we don't try, we do. We fix them, make people happy. We're working on Lizette today. Lizette is a Fiat 600 from 1959. Brakes were seized, completely seized, and I created these new adjusters. Let's see back in here, let's get the light on. These guys, if I can put my finger at that, this right here, that is the eccentric cam that had broken off and was just flopping around and causing erratic braking symptoms. And where is our old wheel cylinders? I think they're in a bucket over here. They're completely seized. Wanted to show you a little trick that I learned, maybe taught myself. You can take a ratchet strap, and while you're putting the springs on, you just ratchet strap around the shoes, and that holds everything together while you put your spring on. That spring is really tough to get on without that assistance. So, little tip and trick for you. We're trying to get this car out the door for the show, so we're working really hard. It needs to go to the show. Well, hey there, welcome back to the shop. Welcome back to Lizette. She is the little orange pumpkin up on the lift here. I thought we'd do a little undercarriage inspection. A lot of people haven't seen what a Fiat 600 looks like underneath, and this is the time. She's up on the lift, see? If you're wondering about Stella the shop dog, she's laying here, cooling off. It's 87 degrees out there. She knows the best spots in the shop to stay cool. It's usually under a BMW I setup. So we just took this brief time to make an announcement about that. Let's get back to what we originally planned to video, and that is the underside of a Fiat 600. This is a 59 Fiat 600. I believe it's like a real one. And one of the interesting things that a lot of people may not know, it has a longitudinal spring. I think they call that a cross spring or a torsion spring. It's not a great design, but it was cheap and durable, and it worked for many, many years. So I've just gone through and I've greased the tie rod ends, greased the drag link. It does not have rack and pinion steering, as you can see. Again, we have a leaf spring that is clamped in the center, supported twice, and the suspension is somewhat independent. Shocks here, our bump stops here, control arms out on the end, and our control arm bushings are knackered. Let's see if I can show you how bad they are. You can't see them from here. From the top you can see them really bad. We have all our new wheel cylinders in. We've cleaned our brake shoes. We've bled the brakes. Everything looks good. The master cylinder is right here. This is your brake light switch. The pitman arm is very greasy and grimy, and there up there is your steering box. And right here with these self-tapping screws is your battery box. We have just temporarily held that battery in there. It's probably going to blow through there at any time. Oh, and there's a piece of wood. It's about ready to fall. How is that battery even? It's not even. Oh boy, I don't know what this is. It's not even wood, it's cardboard. Okay, so we're going to go back to the back of the car. This is a very rust-free example. If you did not know, the e-brake on a Fiat 600 is right here. It is on the end of the transmission output shaft, but on the forward side. So it's a little drum, and there's little tiny brake shoes in there, and when you pull on the e-brake, you actually lock this drum, which locks the transmission. There is no provision for e-brake cables that go out to the end or any type of e-brake mechanism at all. These are fin brake drums on the rear, and I don't know if this car is a mismatch, but it has late model wheel cylinders on the rear and early model on the front. I don't know what's up with that. I'm not going to question it. We have little tiny drive shafts with 4 bolts. These are our control arms, which are actually pretty beefy here in the back. And then our little tiny engine, which is just from here to here. It's about 1 foot long. Exhaust manifold and exhaust tailpipe come out the side. And on this side is where the radiator scoops in the cool air, blows it out the back, and cools the little water-cooled engine. We're missing something here. I think it's a temperature thermostat flap deal that probably helps with cooling. I'm assuming in colder climates maybe it keeps or lets the engine warm up better. I'm not exactly sure because it's missing. I do know that I put this pan in because it wasn't cooling enough or wasn't directing the air out at one point in time. So we've got pretty good tires. We've got our brakes all adjusted, not too tight, but yet we have a nice firm pedal. Now we're going to move on to the tune-up, fuel filter, distributor cap, and a new starter once it arrives. So stay tuned for that. That's next on the list for this little orange blossom called Lizette.